Did you know that one of the most perfect protein sources on the planet could actually be sabotaging your health if you're consuming it wrong? Eggs are often praised as nature's perfect protein. They're packed with all 9 essential amino acids, loaded with brain-boosting choline, and bursting with vitamins like B12, D, and A, not to mention antioxidants that support your vision and immune system. They're affordable, versatile, and convenient. But here's what most people don't realize. When eggs are prepared, stored, or consumed incorrectly, they can cause real harm. Even small, everyday habits, like how you scramble them or where you store the carton, can transform this nutritional powerhouse into a ticking time bomb. And these aren't rare flukes. These are mistakes millions of people make every single day without even knowing it. So, here's a question. Are you actually unlocking the full power of eggs? Or are you unknowingly turning this superfood into a silent threat? In this video, we're unpacking 6 dangerous mistakes you're making with eggs that could be ruining your health, from hidden vitamin deficiencies to bacteria that could land you in the ER. We're covering it all. Some of these mistakes could be wrecking your metabolism, while others might be doing damage to your heart, gut, or even your brain. I've spent over a decade studying nutritional biochemistry and food safety, and eggs are one of the most misunderstood and misused foods on the planet. Preparation matters. Temperature matters. And your body's response might depend on how you cook them or whether you store them in the fridge door or the back shelf. Before we crack into the first mistake, do me a favor. Smash that like button if you care about your health and want more science-backed videos like this. Drop a comment. How many eggs do you eat per week? And have you ever experienced strange symptoms after eating them? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn eggs into a true superfood and avoid 6 health hazards that most people never see coming. Mistake number 1. Raw egg consumption. Let's start with one of the most dangerous and surprisingly common mistakes: eating raw eggs. You've probably seen it in fitness circles or movies like Rocky. Someone cracks a few raw eggs straight into a shake, downs it like a champ, and walks off like they've just leveled up their strength stat. But here's the part they don't show you. That raw egg might be carrying a bacterial time bomb, and you'd never know until it's too late. According to the FDA and CDC, raw eggs can harbor a nasty bug called Salmonella enteritis, one of the most common causes of foodborne illness in the world. And no, we're not just talking about visibly dirty or cracked eggs. Contamination can occur before the shell even forms, during the egg's formation inside the hen, making it completely invisible to the naked eye. The CDC estimates that Salmonella causes about 1.35 million infections, 26,500 hospitalizations, and 420 deaths in the U.S. every single year. While the chance of one egg being contaminated is roughly 1 in 20,000, that number starts to feel a lot riskier when you realize Americans consumed over 93 billion eggs in 2023 alone. So what does a salmonella infection actually look like? Within 6 to 48 hours after eating a contaminated egg, you might experience intense diarrhea, fever, abdominal cramps, nausea, or vomiting. It's brutal. And for vulnerable groups, young kids, the elderly, pregnant women, and anyone with a weakened immune system, it can lead to serious complications, hospitalization, or even death. And this isn't just a theoretical scare tactic. In October 2024, the CDC investigated a major outbreak tied to a Wisconsin egg farm. 93 people got sick, 34 hospitalized. A few months later, another outbreak linked to organic eggs swept through 7 states, sickening 79 more. The source? Raw or undercooked eggs. But let's talk about another hidden issue: biotin deficiency. Raw egg whites contain avidin, a protein that binds tightly to biotin, an essential B vitamin that plays a key role in energy metabolism, skin health, and cognitive function. When avidin binds biotin in your gut, your body can't absorb it, leading to slow, silent deficiencies. You might not notice it right away, but over time it can result in fatigue, hair thinning, brittle nails, even depression. So why do people keep doing it? Most believe they're boosting their protein intake. But here's the truth. Cooking eggs doesn't just make them safer. It actually makes the protein more bioavailable. Your body absorbs up to 91% of protein from cooked eggs compared to about 50% from raw ones. So if you're eating raw for the gains, you're doing your body a disservice. Here's how to stay safe. Always cook eggs until both whites and yolks are firm. Egg-based dishes like quiche or casseroles should reach an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. If a recipe absolutely requires raw eggs, like homemade mayonnaise or tiramisu, use pasteurized eggs. They're heat-treated to kill bacteria without affecting taste or texture. Oh, and one more thing. Don't rely on look and smell to judge safety. Salmonella doesn't alter a raw egg's appearance or odor. Drop a comment below. Have you or someone you know ever gotten sick from eggs? And be honest, have you ever tried that raw shake trick? Bottom line, raw eggs are a high-risk gamble for very little reward. If you want the benefits of eggs without the bacterial roulette, cook them. Every time. Mistake number 2, biotin interference. What if I told you your perfect protein source might also be quietly draining your energy, damaging your hair, and disrupting your metabolism without you even knowing it? Welcome to mistake number 2, biotin interference from raw egg whites. It might sound like a nutrition nerd problem, but it's shockingly common, especially among fitness enthusiasts and bodybuilders who swear by egg white shakes and protein-packed smoothies. The villain? A sneaky little protein called avidin. Avidin is naturally found in raw egg whites and acts as a natural antimicrobial agent. But inside your gut, it becomes a biochemical thief. It binds incredibly tightly to biotin, a B vitamin essential for energy production, skin health, brain function, and fat metabolism. Once bonded, your body simply can't absorb the biotin, and the symptoms of biotin deficiency are easy to miss. Early signs include thinning hair, brittle nails, red scaly rashes around the eyes, chronic fatigue, muscle weakness, and even mood changes like depression and irritability. These symptoms often go misdiagnosed as stress, nutrient burnout, or just getting older. But here's the kicker. There's no standard blood test to detect biotin deficiency. Doctors often rely on clinical symptoms and dietary history to make the connection. That makes this deficiency one of the sneakiest and most overlooked. So, how much is too much? Studies show that consuming just 2 or more raw egg whites per day over a few months is enough to cause biotin depletion. And some athletes go way beyond that. Some reports show 6 to 12 raw whites daily, believing they're optimizing muscle gain. Instead, they're quietly setting themselves up for metabolic imbalance. Recovery from deficiency isn't overnight either. Even with biotin-rich foods or supplements, it can take months to rebuild what avidin blocked. But here's the good news. Heat is your best friend. Cooking egg whites completely denatures avidin. Once it's denatured, it can no longer bind to biotin. Problem solved. That means not only are cooked eggs safer from bacteria, they're also more vitamin-friendly. Egg yolks also contain biotin, along with choline and other micronutrients. So whole cooked eggs give you the full nutritional benefit. No depletion, no deficiency. If you rely on egg white powders or protein supplements, read the label carefully. Look for terms like avidin neutralized, heat-treated, or pasteurized. These processes destroy the binding effect and protect your biotin levels. To support healthy biotin intake, your diet should also include liver and other organ meats, nuts and seeds, especially almonds and sunflower seeds, leafy greens like spinach and kale, sweet potatoes, properly cooked eggs, Still want to enjoy raw egg dishes like mousse or Caesar dressing? Use pasteurized eggs and balance them with biotin-rich foods. Here's the bottom line. Don't treat raw egg whites as a daily habit. Occasionally? Fine. But consistently? That's a long-term gamble with your metabolism, appearance, and energy. Comment below. Have you ever felt chronically tired or noticed your nails weakening? Could your breakfast smoothie be the missing link? Your body works hard for you. Don't let raw eggs rob it of the nutrients it needs to thrive. Mistake number 3. Cholesterol confusion. Eggs and cholesterol. Few topics in nutrition have sparked more debate, more confusion, and more conflicting advice than this one. For decades, eggs were demonized as artery-clogging cholesterol bombs. Then, seemingly overnight, they were hailed as a misunderstood superfood. So what's the truth? Let's break down mistake number 3. Misunderstanding how eggs actually affect your cholesterol and heart health. A single large egg contains about 186 milligrams of cholesterol, mostly in the yolk. Back in the 1970s and 80s, dietary guidelines warned against exceeding 300 milligrams of cholesterol per day. That led to decades of advice like skip the yolk, limit eggs to 2 or 3 a week, and cholesterol equals heart disease. But here's the twist. Modern science no longer supports this blanket restriction. Recent studies from Harvard Medical School, the American Heart Association, and the Mayo Clinic reveal that for most people, dietary cholesterol has minimal impact on blood cholesterol levels. Why? Because your liver actually produces the majority of your cholesterol, up to 1,200 milligrams per day, and it adjusts its output based on how much you eat. What truly raises your blood LDL, bad cholesterol? It's not eggs. It's saturated fats, trans fats, ultra-processed foods, and excessive sugar. Still, the science isn't one size fits all. A 2019 study published in JAMA caused a stir by linking each additional 300 milligrams of dietary cholesterol to 17% increased cardiovascular disease risk and 18% higher all-cause mortality. In other words, adding just one more egg per day appeared to significantly increase risk. However, this data must be interpreted carefully. Later analyses from large cohorts, like the Nurses' Health Study and Health Professionals' Follow-Up Study, found no increased risk of heart disease from moderate egg consumption in healthy individuals. In fact, some findings even showed slight protective effects in people who consumed eggs alongside high-fiber, whole food diet. The key factor? Context. Your overall diet, genetics, and health history determine whether eggs are neutral, beneficial, or harmful. Some individuals are cholesterol hyperresponders, meaning their blood cholesterol rises sharply after eating dietary cholesterol. Others show little or no change. People with diabetes, high blood pressure, or a family history of cardiovascular disease may be more vulnerable to risks associated with daily egg intake. So what's the smart, research-backed approach? For healthy individuals, 4 to 7 eggs per week is generally safe and likely beneficial when part of a diverse, whole food diet. For those with health concerns, talk to your doctor. Get a fasting lipid panel and track how eggs affect your blood work. Many people can still enjoy eggs in moderation, even with cholesterol issues, if the rest of their diet is balanced. Want to make eggs even healthier? Combine them with vegetables like spinach, onions, and peppers, healthy fats like avocado or olive oil, whole grains like oats or whole wheat toast, antioxidant-rich sides like berries, and avoid the classic breakfast trap: bacon, sausage, white toast, butter, and sugary coffee drinks. That combo, not the egg itself, is what drives cholesterol numbers up. Also, don't fear the yolk. While egg whites are great for protein, the yolk holds most of the nutrients: choline for brain function, vitamin D, B12, and selenium, lutein and zeaxanthin for eye protection, antioxidants that reduce inflammation. If you're looking to optimize heart health and still love eggs, try 1 egg plus 2 egg whites combo. Blood test every 6-12 months to track progress. A Mediterranean-style diet with lots of fiber and healthy fats. Comment below. Have you been confused by the egg and cholesterol debate? What advice have you heard? Let's clear it up once and for all. Eggs aren't villains. But when it comes to cholesterol, your context is everything. Mistake number 4. Storage disasters. You buy the best eggs, organic, pasture-raised, maybe even straight from a local farm. You cook them perfectly. But there's a problem. A simple storage mistake could be turning your nutritious breakfast into a bacteria buffet. Let's break down mistake number 4. Storing eggs the wrong way. Eggs are incredibly sensitive to temperature changes and contamination. And because they seem so sturdy on the outside, most people have no idea how easily they can become unsafe. Just 1 hour of improper storage can significantly raise your risk of salmonella and other bacterial infections. According to the USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service, improper refrigeration is one of the top contributors to egg-related foodborne illness. In fact, simply refrigerating eggs properly could prevent tens of thousands of salmonella illnesses every year. Here are the essentials you need to know. 1. Refrigerate eggs immediately after purchase. Once you get home, don't leave them sitting out on the counter. Eggs should be stored in the refrigerator at or below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, no exceptions. Even high-quality, organic, or farm-fresh eggs can harbor bacteria if they're not kept cold. 2. Keep eggs in their original carton. It's tempting to transfer eggs into cute fridge containers or door trays. But don't. The original carton protects them from breakage, limits air exposure, and prevents them from absorbing strong odors, since eggshells are porous. Plus, the carton has the expiration date and safety info you'll need. 3. Never store eggs in the fridge door. This one's big. The door experiences frequent temperature swings every time it's opened, which compromises egg safety. Instead, place the carton deep inside the fridge, ideally on a middle or bottom shelf where the temperature stays stable. 4. Watch for cracks. Even tiny hairline cracks in an eggshell can be a direct gateway for bacteria. If you spot a cracked egg in the carton, or crack one accidentally, discard it or cook it immediately. Never store cracked eggs for later use. 5. Don't let cooked eggs sit out too long. Leftovers from breakfast? Egg salad for later? Don't let them sit at room temperature for more than 2 hours, or just 1 hour if it's over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius. After that, bacteria multiply fast. 6. Know the signs of a bad egg. A quick smell test is useful, but not foolproof. Better, try the float test. Fresh eggs sink in water and lay flat. Slightly older eggs may stand up or tilt. Bad eggs float. Toss them immediately. Also, don't forget to regularly wipe down the fridge shelf under your eggs. A leaking egg can contaminate other foods. Drop a comment below. Have you ever stored your eggs in the fridge door? Or found a mystery egg in the back that made you nervous? Don't let bacteria sneak into your diet through your refrigerator. Safe storage equals safe nutrition. Mistake number 5. Allergy reactions. You're eating breakfast like usual, scrambled eggs, maybe a hard-boiled one at work. Then something odd happens. A little itch in your mouth. A tiny rash. Maybe a bit of nausea. You shrug it off until it starts happening more often. Or worse, one day it escalates to something far more serious. That brings us to mistake number 5. Ignoring early signs of egg allergies. Eggs are one of the most common food allergens in both children and adults. Yet many people don't realize how unpredictable egg allergies can be. Unlike allergies to peanuts or shellfish, which often trigger dramatic reactions early on, egg allergies can build subtly and escalate fast. Here's how it works. Your immune system mistakenly identifies proteins in eggs, especially in the whites, as harmful invaders. It overreacts, releasing histamines and other chemicals that cause inflammation and symptoms. The most common problematic proteins include ovalbumin, ovomucoid, ovotransferrin, and lysozyme. Symptoms can range from mild to severe. Itching or tingling in the mouth or throat, digestive issues like cramps, nausea, or diarrhea, skin rashes or hives, respiratory problems like coughing, sneezing, or wheezing. And in some cases, these symptoms may progress to anaphylaxis, a life-threatening condition where the throat swells, blood pressure crashes, and breathing becomes difficult. Anaphylaxis can occur within minutes and requires immediate emergency treatment, usually with epinephrine. What makes egg allergies especially tricky is how they vary. Some people react only to raw or lightly cooked eggs, but tolerate well-cooked eggs. Others react to any form of egg, scrambled, baked, or even trace amounts in processed foods. Cross-reactivity is common too. People allergic to eggs may also react to chicken meat, vaccines, like flu shots grown in egg protein, and even lecithin in cosmetics. And guess what? Egg allergies can develop at any age, even in adults who ate eggs their whole life without issue. That's why new or changing reactions should always be taken seriously. It's also worth noting that some people develop egg intolerance, a non-immune response that causes bloating, fatigue, or joint pain hours after consumption. Though less dangerous, it still signals a problem worth exploring. If you suspect an egg allergy, talk to an allergist. Skin prick testing and oral food challenges can confirm the diagnosis. Check labels. Eggs can hide under names like albumin, globulin, or Biotin. Avoid cross-contamination, especially in shared kitchens or restaurants. If you've experienced severe reactions, your doctor may prescribe an EpiPen for emergencies. Drop a comment if you or someone you know has struggled with food allergies. Did eggs ever play a role? Eggs can be a superfood, but for some people, they're a serious risk. Listen to your body. Mistake number 6, overconsumption effects. There's a common belief in nutrition. If something is good for you, more of it must be better. But with eggs, that thinking can backfire fast. Let's dive into mistake number 6, eating too many eggs, too often. Eggs are rich in nutrients and high-quality protein, but that doesn't mean they should dominate your diet. And yet, many people assume that eating multiple eggs a day is a shortcut to peak health. Some even eat 6 or more eggs every single day, believing it fuels muscle growth, fat loss, or better brain function. But the reality is more nuanced, and the risks of overconsumption are real. First, let's talk about cholesterol load. While most healthy individuals can handle 1-2 eggs daily without major cholesterol spikes, excessive egg intake can overwhelm the body's cholesterol regulation mechanisms. In people with underlying conditions or genetic predispositions, this can lead to dangerous LDL levels and increased plaque buildup in the arteries. A 2021 dose-response meta-analysis found that each additional daily egg was associated with a 5% higher risk of all-cause mortality and a 13% higher cancer-related mortality. That doesn't mean eggs cause cancer, but it does show a pattern where more is not always better. Second, there is the issue of dietary balance. Relying heavily on eggs can crowd out other essential food groups. Omega-3 rich fish for anti-inflammatory fats, fiber-rich vegetables and legumes for gut health, whole grains for B vitamins and sustained energy. When you center your diet around eggs, you risk nutrient monotony, which can lead to deficiencies over time, even if you're eating clean. Third, the protein burden. While eggs provide clean protein, consuming them in excess, especially 5+ per day, can strain the kidneys, especially in those with existing renal issues. High-protein diets increase nitrogen waste, which the kidneys must filter. If your water intake is low or your kidney function is impaired, this stress adds up, Overeating eggs may also trigger chronic bloating from high sulfur content, constipation due to lack of fiber, nausea from overwhelming nutrient concentration, and let's not forget variety fatigue. When people rely on eggs day after day, they often skip experimenting with other protein sources, missing out on the antioxidants, phytonutrients, and fibers that plant-based foods offer. So, what's the smart strategy? Experts recommend 4 to 7 eggs per week for most healthy adults as part of a varied diet. If you're highly active or need more protein, up to 1 per day can be fine, especially when paired with plenty of fiber, greens, and healthy fats. For those at risk, high cholesterol, diabetes, or heart conditions, it's wise to get a blood lipid test before increasing egg intake. Limit daily consumption to 3-4 per week. Focus on variety, beans, fish, tofu, lentils, nuts, and seeds. Eggs are incredibly nutrient-dense, but like anything powerful, they need to be used wisely and in moderation. Drop a comment. Have you ever gone through a phase where you ate eggs every single day? Did it help, or did you eventually scale back? Your health isn't about extremes, it's about balance. And even a superfood can become a setback if you go overboard. Benefits and correct consumption. Okay, we've talked about the dangers, but let's not forget. When eggs are handled and eaten correctly, they're one of the most powerful, affordable, and nutrient-dense foods on the planet. So now, let's flip the script and talk about what happens when you consume eggs the right way. First off, eggs are one of the best sources of complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids your body needs but can't make on its own. In fact, the protein quality in eggs is so high that it's often used as the gold standard for comparing other protein sources. Eggs also deliver a powerful package of nutrients. Choline, essential for brain development and memory. Vitamin D, crucial for immune strength and bone health. Lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that protect your eyes from damage. B, vitamins, which support metabolism and cellular energy. Biotin, especially when eggs are properly cooked. One large egg contains just about 70-80 calories, yet it packs in 6-7 grams of high-quality protein. That makes eggs perfect for building and preserving lean muscle mass, especially when paired with resistance training. For older adults, regular egg consumption can help reduce frailty and muscle loss, common with aging. And for children, studies show that consistent egg intake improves growth, brain function, and gross motor development, particularly in developing countries where nutrient deficiencies are more common. Eggs are also extremely bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs and utilizes the nutrients very efficiently. That's why they're so helpful in combating deficiencies, especially in vitamins like B12, folate, and iodine. From a heart health standpoint, when eaten in moderation and as part of a balanced diet, eggs don't raise cardiovascular risk for most people. In fact, when paired with vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats, they may actually offer protective effects. Environmentally, eggs are also a sustainable choice. Compared to beef or lamb, they require significantly less land, water, and energy to produce, making them one of the greener animal-based proteins available. So, how do you implement eggs into your diet the right way? Here's a sample guide. Weeks 1-2. Start with 2-3 cooked eggs per week. Monitor your digestion, energy, and skin health. Weeks 3-4. Increase to 4-5 eggs weekly. Try different cooking methods: scrambled, poached, soft-boiled, while avoiding raw or undercooked. Week 5 and beyond. For most healthy adults, 6-7 eggs weekly is safe and beneficial. Space them out over the week and pair with fiber-rich veggies and whole foods. Also, don't forget hydration and fiber. Eggs are low in fiber, so balance them with greens, fruits, and grains to optimize digestion and nutrient absorption. If you have high cholesterol, diabetes, or heart disease, talk to your doctor first. Your ideal intake might differ, and that's okay. When done right, eggs don't just nourish your body. They elevate your entire diet. We've covered a lot. 6 dangerous mistakes that can turn eggs from superfood to health hazard. Here's a quick recap. 1. Raw eggs can carry salmonella. 2. Raw whites block biotin absorption. 3. Cholesterol confusion leads to extremes. 4. Bad storage creates bacterial risks. 5. Ignored allergies can trigger severe reactions. 6. Overeating eggs leads to imbalance and strain. But when prepared and eaten properly, eggs support your brain, muscles, metabolism, and heart. They're affordable, accessible, and packed with nutrients when used wisely. So let's hear from you. Which mistake shocked you most? Have you made any? What's your go-to egg recipe? And will you do anything differently now? If you learned something today, type yes in the comments. That motivates us to keep creating videos like this. Smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our latest evidence-based health content. Share this with someone who eats eggs daily. You could protect their health. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.